Yo, 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 we got pizza. Here we are. Slice. Today's episode, we're talking about urban legends and mythological things that have come across our times in the, the real world. You know, things that you don't believe or cease to believe, or does it exist or doesn't it exist? What do you think, Carlos?
Equality, does it exist?
Equality, right? That's an interesting debate.
Women's rights?
Women's
Does
rights.
it exist? Does it?
I feel like we have an agenda here.
No. We don't. This is non-racial, non-sexual.
Non-sexual. I like how you're like made women a race.
No homo.
No homo here. Yeah. By the way, so today we also brought to you by the letter P for pizza, obviously, and today's pizza is Mod Pizza. Come get you some if you want to eat and not feel like a fat ass. Come to eat Mod Pizza. They look very intimidating, but they're not. You could eat it yourself. So
I could eat one of these.
Yes.
This is insulting.
It was intimidating when I saw the size after. I was like, it's Chiquita.
It's are the slices small?
No, I guess. I mean, yeah.
Sorry, I touched your food.
Oh my god.
Why touch that one and then touch another one?
Because this one's bigger and I want it.
Anyways,
Just put it on your
so
plate.
let's get back to it. Today we're talking about the urban legends of our times, and you know what got us interested in them. And for the first person I want to talk to is Cruz. Cruz, obviously, sir, you are a man who is into this stuff. Like you would talk about the Llorona, and we'll laugh at you
Constantly.
You said you saw the chupacabra in your backyard. And like
he's like our chunks of our times from the Goonies. Like for real, he's like made up a story.
come on, you guys, I saw it.
I swear to God, in the 5th grade, I threw up and I blamed it on the dog or someone farted. Anyways, Cruz, please tell me what things have brought to your attention that you want to talk about?
Captivated you
Yeah, what captivates Cruz?
besides breastises?
Yes. Shoot, Captain. Come on, man, we're waiting.
Okay, what was your question?
Oh God, what tickles your pickle when it comes to urban legends?
The stories.
Okay,
The story, how did they come up with these stories?
So the urban legend then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, what's a story or what's the thing you've...
Well, I got two. I got the Jersey Devil.
Okay, we'll start with the Jersey Devil.
So in southern Jersey, or parts of Philadelphia, in the forests of the Pine Barrens,
Is that where Kevin Smith is from?
there's lived a family, the Leach family.
Continue.
The Leach family.
Stop pausing and tell your
Well,
story.
you guys are not paying attention.
How can we not pay attention to you? We can. We can eat and pay attention. By the way the show runs, if we're not talking, we're eating.
Yeah, pretty much.
Continue.
There used to live a family named the Leeds, and this mother, she had gave birth to 12 kids prior. And when she found out she was pregnant again with a 13th child, she cursed the child out of frustration and said this child is going to be the devil.
Is that because she's had 13 kids? Or
That's
what?
because she had 13 kids. So apparently this lady didn't learn how to close her legs, or,
Birth control was
birth
not a
control
thing.
was not a thing back then.
Should have been Catholic.
It used to be punches to the gut.
around-
but
it was
that
like-
wouldn't do it.
1735. This is the year around that the legend started.
Coat hangers were made until 1736.
Wait, 1730 something?
35.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it says coat hangers weren't invented until 1736.
This is pre-America.
Pre-abortion.
Yeah.
Pre-Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
The baby was born normal, and as weeks went by, the baby started to get deformed.
Well,
It grew a head of a goat with horns,
on its head, like its face, it just grew a...
and the baby's face literally turned into a goat. It grew bat-like wings, and it had basically a body of a goat. Instead of the front legs, there were just claws, and he had a forked tail. A lot of people are saying that the father's child was the devil himself, hence why the baby became a goat with wings. sightings of this creature have been.
Sightings? You mean like what? After that, it escaped or what?
Well, it ran away.
Okay. I'm gonna join the circus.
Hey!
Go to your room!
No! This family stinks, and I'm suffocating here!
Well, I never joined the circus, but one of the legends says that Commander Stephen Picard
Captain Picard. Nice.
was going to the millworks to inspect his cannonballs when he spotted the demon and shot a cannon in it, and nothing happened to the creature.
Oh, I gotta have time to set up the cannon. Like, yo, wait there.
I know, right?
Wait there.
Let me set up this son bitch.
Let me blast you.
With a cannon, no mind.
This is a day when like loading up a cannon was like, let me put the stick in it.
Yeah.
Let me put the ball in it. Oh, by the way, I need 2 other guys to turn the wheels.
Yeah, this is amazing story.
Next sighting.
Definitely an urban legend.
Napoleon Bonaparte's brother Joseph also saw the creature in 1820.
Damn.
He was here?
He was here.
The ghost goes far, man.
Yeah.
It was in Jersey.
And they did have the Revolution War.
Oh. He had to move around, man.
Yeah, man.
You want to get enlisted.
He was like, George Washington, I'm your guy.
Well, man.
So
Let's cross that
he
Delaware.
also stated that he seen the devil while he was hunting deer in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2015, a resident was driving to Route 9 near a golf course when he took a picture of the supposed Jersey Devil and posted it online, and it looks completely fake as hell.
Oh, okay.
It literally looks like he just got a goat, put some bat wings, and just pasted it on the picture of the
Is
forest.
the picture available somewhere?
Yeah, it's online.
Okay, cool. We'll make sure we post that. Do that.
Suppose this creature, if you see this creature, it lets
Contact your local authorities.
Contact your local authority.
supposedly this creature lets out a high pitched scream.
Okay.
And
Average goat.
yeah, like it's basically like an average goat.
So it's a goat.
Oh, Ralph has heard of this.
Ralph has heard of this goat. It stalks Wilfred in the dead of night.
Yes.
I have a question. Is this why the Jersey Devils are called the Jersey Devils?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Really? The more we know.
that's fascinating.
Okay, and is that all, Senor Cruz? Anything else you need to know?
Do you think it's real? Like obviously these things are open to interpretation, but like
Okay, I think the thing that throws me off is the first thing in the story, which is like this lady has had 13
12.
kids, or 12 kids, and then the 13. Like who's keeping up with her kids?
who was writing this down?
Especially in the 1730s. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, you had 12 kids, all right, another 13.
Obviously, that is obviously a bit mythicized, but you know, I mean, there must be an explanation for these sightings.
Yeah. I mean, seeing someone like a goat, maybe a little thrown off. Maybe that's possible. People who've seen shit, like, you know, I'm not just saying like it's wrong. Evidence subjective.
Yeah.
But the only thing that did throw me off was the lady had like fucking 13
kids.
kids. Yeah, that was a little too knowledgeable of a story, especially if it's a family of like.
Does it fly?
Yeah. Supposedly this family was well known back in those times.
Oh, okay, that's why they're.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like this. It's like if we make shit up about a family right now, and then 200 years from now, well, sons of bitches.
Ben Franklin called the father of the kids the devil, because he was just a bastard. So the urban legend, that's how the urban legend started to come. Oh, well, if he's the devil, then this is what happens to the child. The child got deformed because of the father.
Why do people always blame the father? Maybe the mother raised it wrong.
Never. All right. For you, Cruz, what caught your attention from that story? Yes. What caught your attention?
There's all these claims that people have seen it,
No, well, for you, what caused it? Like, what's the thing that you're like, oh, I liked it? Are you like just devil type of thing, worshiping like interest, or like?
Isn't it the satanic thing behind it?
I mean, is that what tickles your pickle? I mean,
Are you secretly a Satanist?
Like, no, I'm just saying, like, how come this goat story like caught your attention? Like, what called to you besides, I guess,
The first thing that jumped in my head when you said, "Oh, we're gonna do urban legends," that's the first thing that jumped in my head.
that's something you've heard from. Like,
I heard before, and then I'm like, okay, I'll do some research and see why it's an urban legend and why I got the name it did. Yeah. There were so many other ones I could have picked, but then this was the first one that popped into my head. I was like, hey, the Jersey Devil, let's do this one.
He was watching a Devils game when we asked him this.
Oh, okay.
And I know it was funny because he sent the text, I was watching a documentary of the Jersey Devil.
Oh, gee, what a connection!
what a clue! Oh no, what is it?
What the twist?
Yes. All right.
Well, I'll do that.
I was watching Ghostbusters when he sent that text. I should have picked Slimer.
Oh, Gozar.
Gozar, yeah.
Okay. Carlos, I know you, sir, are a very interesting man when it comes to the non-belief. You are very scientific.
I'm a man of science.
you hate all spiritual people.
Which is actually why I picked this one. Bigfoot.
What? All right. Shoot, Captain.
I don't have to introduce Bigfoot. You know what Bigfoot is.
Who is it?
Batman? Man with a Bigfoot?
Man with the Bigfoot. My Uncle Tom.
That was Batman.
What the hell?
So one thing that that fascinates me so much is that it, in terms of urban legends here in America, this one could be real, because it's a giant ape, and basically anthropologists and scientists have said it could be real. If this creature is an apex predator, it's solitary, like it doesn't go around in groups like other apes. And most of the sightings are in the Pacific Northwest, Western Canada. I think people forget how fucking huge that place is. Like, that place is bigger than Mexico. It's bigger than Europe. Like, imagine a region that big with just forests with not that many people in there.
It's always nice to hear that there's still forests like that.
Yeah, like, it's there's only 3 big cities there: Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland. And aside from that, it's small towns, small villages. This is the perfect place for a giant ape to hide.
Yeah.
Horror film too.
Yeah, it's a perfect place where anything could really hide.
Yeah.
So, a solitary ape walking around there, you could have 100 of these things in the Pacific Northwest, and none of them could ever run into each other and barely have run-ins with humans.
The forest is a very dangerous location.
It is. A lot of shit happens. A lot of shit happens.
I mean, forest things happen.
Yeah, like
you're like Blair Witch.
As much as we like to think that we
real things, man.
Oh.
As much as we like to think that we've conquered nature, there's places in the world where we just don't know very much about.
Like
the ocean. Yeah, and I like one thing also that scientists, they always try to disprove sightings.
Yeah.
Like you guys remember that famous video of Bigfoot walking? Like, even for that one, the people who discount it and say, "Oh, that's not real," will still not say that does not mean that the possibility of a Bigfoot is impossible.
I like that.
Like, they're saying that one particular instance isn't real, but that doesn't mean I don't think.
Question: have they ever sent something to investigate, like scientific?
Well, that's the thing. You can send guys. Let's say 50 of us got together. Big guns, modern equipment.
Or just bring flowers.
Satellite technology. This area is huge. Oh. You can't search it. It's like I said. It's like, imagine going to Mexico and being like, I gotta find one dog. It's a huge land. Like I said, it's bigger than Europe. So even if you committed money and sent teams in there, used satellite technology, you still can't break through all that.
Yeah.
Like the Pacific Northwest forest is bigger than the Amazon rainforest.
Ah.
So I mean that's one thing that people don't get.
I really get lost in the forest and the Amazon. I feel like the Amazon, I'll be screwed, man. Like, you find animal species that you're not supposed to, you're dead.
Yeah, killer snake. Yeah. And if you're lost in the forest, maybe Bigfoot is friendly and helps you survive.
Here, so let me walk you here while I rip off your spine.
I will teach you the ways of the forest.
Yeah.
I don't know why I sound like Mufasa.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of scary stories through my time of bumming it, and I have heard like a lot of stories of the forest where they've always mentioned like sometimes some strange creature that, you know, either it's furry or there's something out lanky. I mean, a lot of stories. You hear a lot of people talk about it. You're gonna be like, a lot of people believe it. Not believe it, but have seen something like that. Like maybe there's a something to it.
What pisses me off is that there's all these shows out there on Travel Channel or Destination America, whatever, that they send these groups of people to go look for Bigfoot, and they never catch anything.
I like how that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's a huge area. That's like, imagine they told you, Cruz, go into the ocean and find me a squid. The ocean is fucking huge. That's the forest. It's huge.
I know where they're.
I know where there's squids.
Yeah, if you pinpoint the locations of the.
And I mean, like, up until like a few hundred years ago, people thought gorillas were mythical creatures.
Gorilla. Really?
Yeah, like gorillas are a recent discovery. So I mean,
How recent?
well, a few centuries.
That's a.
So I mean, a lot of creatures were thought to be mythical things that now today
That's true.
we know. Whales were thought to be sea monsters. Giant pythons were thought to be serpents of the devil.
That's it.
Gorillas were thought to be a tribe of humans, mythical creatures. So I mean,
That's like Planet of the Apes came about.
yeah, Planet of the Apes, the Planeta de los Simios.
Oh yes.
So I mean, if we find Bigfoot, it follows the pattern of discovering animals, where we have a few sightings, create myths about it, and then eventually we discover, oh, it's just a big ape.
Yeah. Very interesting. Sir, are you complete with your
I'm always complete.
study of Bigfoot?
Yeah, I just find the implications of it more fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
What about you?
Oh, I mean Bigfoot. Bigfoot is tight.
No, what did you find?
Oh, my discoveries. I've researched. I've done studies.
He's found shit.
I've done stuff. I wrote it in my notebook. I mean, for me, I think the most interesting creature or myth, kind of urban legend I could talk about is the Wendigo. You know.
A monster.
I know nothing about this. So
Wendigo.
please.
Really, you don't know about the Wendigo?
He's the greatest rivalry to the Hulk and Wolverine.
I will slap you.
The Wendigo is basically a mythological creature created by the indigenous people.
Which ones?
The natives.
The Along.
The ones we killed, the ones we robbed, or the ones we butchered?
In the middle.
Okay.
In the middle. I don't want to. I don't want to fucking botch their name. they're indigenous.
What are you speaking Klingon?
Yeah. So basically, this thing has been a big thing since the 1800s. Been talked about a lot. Basically, it's a there's different descriptions about it. Some people see it as like a skinwalker, kind of like a naked human body, and basically like their jaws are like teeth, like sharks. And others have described it as like a giant ass human, but with horns, like a head of a
deer.
Of a deer. Basically, its presence is when you run into it, it normally could kind of like sense the type of person you are. Like if you're greedy or selflessness, that's normally the people it gets, like it kills.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, the indigenous people kind of sent it as a curse. Like you do it bad. You know,
If you hurt us for greed.
yeah, it's like the boogeyman. The boogeyman for the indigenous people.
Yeah.
And it had been known to be around sightings in I know in Canada. There's a lot. Well, kind of almost around the area,
Canadians.
around like almost your Minnesota. Like
Minnesota.
every areas where it's just forests and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure where Bigfoot's location is probably at. That's something similar to that too.
It's a big wild area.
Yeah.
Cannibalistic, isn't it?
Oh, and also yes, it's flesh eating. Well, that's what they're saying. Some the indigenous people say like a lot of their tribes, like some of the deaths were caused because of that. Like some of the missing people, and it just kind of like it's kind of like the god of the death, kind of like death god in a way in the forest. And a lot of people have said sightings about like if you kind of don't move, it's like a T-Rex. If you don't move or don't look at it, like it kind of just like goes away.
Leaves you alone.
And it has howlings too. Like it howls like loud, like you know, it makes some weird noises. Like kind of gets your attention. But I always had a fascination with the fact that like.
Have there been modern sightings of it?
That I know of, I've heard stories. That's all I've heard.
Okay.
That's what I say. Stories have been told. Like campers, they go in.
Supposedly, if you get bitten by one, you turn into.
You
one.
could also turn into one if you kind of like encounter one.
So it's kind of like we've taken something from their religion and turned it into our horror campfire.
Yeah. Basically, well, you know, like the recent movie that's gonna come out, it's called Antlers, which is basically Guillermo del Toro's interpretation of the Wendigo. So it's one of those things that it's a Bigfoot type of discussion because you've heard many stories about it. That it's like, whoa, it's like the Indians use it to kind of like scare off like people doing bad things. It's a boogeyman of there, but also a lot of people who aren't indigenous have ran into this creature. Yeah, so. It's one of those things where, like, do you talk about it? Like, did you see, like, when you talk to people, like, certain people that know about it, they're like, shut the hell up. Yeah, it's like, shut the hell up. Yeah.
Say Candyman 3 times.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And, it's a pretty cool thing. And, like I said, it's by the Eastern Seaboard. People a lot of caught it in Canada. And, I mean, yeah, if you run into it, you're fucked.
It kills you.
Kills you. Yeah, well, depending. Like, if you're good, I mean, if you have good in your heart and your intentions were never bad, I think it just kind of leaves you alone. A lot of people, like I said, like there's certain ways just kind of ignore it, don't look at it.
To T-Rex it.
Yeah, they'll T-Rex it. So
Sam Neill it.
Sam Neill it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. On my part on the Wendigo, I know I didn't sell you like a lot like Bigfoot.
No, it seems frightening.
Yeah, but the Wendigo, man, it's an interesting story, you know,
And
especially it's built by indigenous, which a lot of them, you know, they have a lot of beliefs in like they're connected to the earth, like with everything, like the animals and
they have a wide pantheon.
The Wendigo is almost as famous as Bigfoot. It has a variety of stories, variety of.
But
movies.
I feel like Bigfoot is more like
well known.
It's more like there's sightings to a point where you're
one
looking,
is more anthropological animals.
Yeah.
While yours is more of a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't really compare them. It's like comparing the chupacabra to a gorilla.
Yeah. Like, which is like something. Yeah. So I think with the Wendigo, like I said, people have seen it, but it's not like something they've caught it. And like I'm pretty sure people have like showed videos and stuff like that. But those videos are always like kind of like laughed at, like like whatever, you know.
Like it's a spiritual thing. Like no one's gonna there's no way for us to confirm this is real.
Yeah.
It's like trying to confirm other mythical creatures.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do it. But it's enough to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, because like I said, the people who've told stories is like they're like shitting their pants. Like I can't prove to you, but this is how I felt. And you know, I believe those people. Whatever they felt, whatever they saw, it just triggered them to just like you know, get scared and
fear. You know, when you get fear, you can't react.
Yeah. So that's my take on
you can react to fear. You can shoot it.
Yeah, you piss your pants.
Yeah, but I know the Wendigo's name has been kind of like turned a lot. Like the Wendigo.
That was what I was thinking. Yeah, I was like Wendigo. Or like what?
Yeah, there's different like Wendigo, and it comes from the spirit of winter and the symbol of danger and selfishness. Yeah. So that's what I got out of it. So, I mean that's they're kind of like Krampus. Krampus.
Moral of the story: Native Americans will jack you up.
Yeah. So that's my take. I mean, Cruz. I mean, you got another one? I think.
Yeah, I got Goatman's Bridge.
Oh, now what the hell's that? You and your goats, man.
You and your goat. Is this where you find out you got a secret fetish?
My goats.
What? I was just keeping it, you know.
Keep it in the family. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's what the Jersey Devil happened right there. Kept it in the family.
Probably.
Right.
Deformed baby.
Oh yeah, that could be it. Sold it for a goat.
There you go. I solved the 200-year-old mystery.
So this bridge was built in 1884 in Alton, Texas, by the King Iron Manufacturing Bridge Company. And the original purpose was to carry horses and automobiles to the other side of the river. But it lost that name. It lost the Alton Bridge to the Goatman's Bridge when this farmer named Oscar Washburn settled in the area and was selling goats like crazy. Mm-hmm. The Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, didn't like that.
We're not sponsoring them.
They're bad people.
Didn't like that, so they kidnapped this African American man from his family, took him to the bridge, and hanged him.
Damn.
As he fell with the rope, they looked over the bridge and he wasn't there no more.
Oh,
so seeing that he disappeared, they feared he was still alive. So they went back to his house and slaughtered his family.
What the hell?
So supposedly that Washburn became the
Goat man.
Goat man. And if you drive through the bridge without your headlights, at the end of the bridge, he will meet you.
So he like, why is he a goat man?
Because he sold goats.
He's like Batman.
Oh, nice.
Goat man.
I like how I was totally lost, and then as soon as you said that, I get it. Click.
There you go. Batman solves everything.
Yeah, the headlights and all that.
What do he do to you when you meet him? Like, does you just
for what the stories say, you disappear.
Oh.
If you drive with your headlights on and pass the bridge, nothing would happen to you. They found cars with the occupants gone. They found clothing with no body parts or anything.
Do a lot of people go missing?
Not a lot of people go missing, but they had closed down that road. There's also another story that somewhat goes along with this story.
Yeah.
About Jack Kendall, who was also killed and was brought back by voodoo. He ripped off a goat's head, took his head off, and placed it on his head. And
he's the goat man.
He's the goat man, and he goes around killing people in cars.
Okay.
I
believe that. I believe that goat man more. I mean, not him cutting off his own head, but I feel like he could like fucking wear like a goat's mask and kill him.
That's like his signature calling as a murderer, like the Zodiac.
Yeah.
So this guy's going. He gets killed. He comes back and he starts killing people on this bridge. People are saying, there have not been taken down sightings or recorded sightings, but it doesn't say it's not haunted. People do go to this bridge and do satanic rituals, and they use goats as the rituals and leave them dead there. It's been featured on Ghost Adventures.
Okay.
And on BuzzFeed.
That means nothing to us.
On Ghost Adventures, supposedly they got a clip on him. It's posted on YouTube of the Goat Man passing by the RV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got from the Goat Man.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on that?
I believe it.
You believe it? Do you believe the story, or do you believe
I believe the first story.
Do you believe the goat man, or do you believe the murderer?
Yeah.
I believe the Goat Man. This guy's family got slaughtered.
Like the Punisher.
Stop making everything make sense. This is making extremely good sense to me.
He's like, it's the Punisher.
Now this guy gets hired for the KKK. They get scared because...
Why do they always have to be the bad guys?
Do they get murdered in this story?
No. Oh. There's no mention of any of the members of the KKK getting murdered.
Sounds like a shitty origin story.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it now.
Yeah. I believe it.
Imagine if in The Punisher he never killed the guys who killed his family. That's bullshit.
I hate this story.
This story's mama's way.
Yeah.
Well, Spider-Man never kills the guy that killed his uncle.
I mean, doesn't he technically fall?
He does, yeah. He still dies.
It's Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah, he still dies.
Well, we're going by movie?
No, I mean, that's an origin story, technically.
There's so many origin stories now.
I mean, but there's technically origin story, right? You can use it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, just because you denounce the comic book. I mean,
the Amazing Spider-Man, he doesn't kill him.
If it was
he never finds him.
Then he did.
When?
When the guy that had the star tattoo on his arm.
He never found him.
That's when Captain Stacy shows up.
No.
The guy with the long hair.
Does he? I don't think so.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
I don't think he ever finds them. I think that went in the cold. Cause you know what? They don't even do it. Cause in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he runs into him in the game. Yeah, I remember. Cause Carnage is there, and I think Carnage kills him, and then Carnage is like, "Oh yeah, I killed you."
Well, you can't do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys say that it doesn't happen in the movies. It doesn't happen in the movies.
What happened to? Oh well, if it happened, it happened.
No.
I love that.
Now,
He's like, you can't do that.
That's against the rules.
hey, your guys' rules.
I didn't say
If
that.
it doesn't happen in the movie, it doesn't happen anywhere.
Hey, look. Well, so he never found them then.
Okay, you never found them.
So, Cruz, what's your fascination with goats?
Nothing.
Goat thing, goat fetish.
I just kept it in the category.
Alright, I guess I could talk about mine since we're talking about goats. I'm talking about the legend of the Chupa blah blah. The Chupacabra.
The Chupacabra.
Oh, man, why you gotta be so Latino sometimes?
That's what I go with the
I
other
think
one.
that's the only thing that I was at that moment. I was trying to think about something else, and then I was like, I lost time, and I was like, what's another thing I can know? And I was like, oh, the Chupacabra.
You know, because of our background, we've probably grown up with a lot of stories of the Chupacabra.
No, but I remember it was big going when we were like growing up.
Yeah, like
when we were elementary.
That's
the
something
90s, yeah.
That's something we really grew up with.
Yeah,
With
I
all the
remember-
T-shirts with the
You know,
Chupacabra.
the news was talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Telemundo.
No, every
Basically,
channel was talking about
the
it.
goat sucker
The Dracula of goats.
of goat sucker.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, Chupacabra means goat sucker.
Yeah. No, basically, it started off
Now
in Puerto Rico. That's where it started
Really?
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in
I thought
the.
it was a Mexican.
It started in 1995. No, it wasn't. I started going after that. It started jumping to like it went to Russia.
They blew it up.
Yeah, Philippines. Like it went to. And I think in Maine.
Well, the Filipinos are just discount Mexicans.
Yeah, I consider the Chupacabra like a super yoked Chihuahua. Like it has the body structure.
Well, that's what it looks like. That from what they've been showing lately, the Chupacabra
Chupacabra. Wait.
Chupacabra
Yeah.
looks like a furless dog.
Okay. Let him talk about the origins, and then we'll get to the explanations.
Yeah,
to it.
no. The basically started off 1995, where legend has it. Basically, farmers started finding out their goats were dead, basically sucked dry from the blood. It's
What
like
a fantasy.
it's like you're right. It's like basically
Like a vampire.
Yeah, a vampire. And a lot of people were tripping out because after that, a lot of animals kept dying, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?" So science saw that this creature, that I'm telling you, looks like an oversized chihuahua, spine and all sticking out, and probably has the head of like
An alien.
and basically just kind of like fangs like a vampire. Basically was like sucking everything and dry. A lot of people were confusing it to like a fox or like they were trying to find sense of it all. Like typical animals that will go and kill off.
Government tested.
Oh, sure, in Chile, in Puerto Rico, yeah. Government tested.
Where the government doesn't work for the people.
Yeah, obviously. No, but I feel like some of the things were like, I think animals that were just kind of rabid, I feel like animals that were already fucked up looking, like sometimes there's dogs without no skin,
Yeah, it's like they say it's like a dog with like late stage rabies.
Yeah.
Like it's already lost its hair.
Mm-hmm. And I'm saying like that's the closest to I think what it looks like, where it's almost real to a point, and it could be fake as well, like just the description of it.
Like people got a little carried away, and the myth was born.
Yeah, and basically that's the origin of it. Like it just got its. It started from Puerto Rico, and then it started going to different countries. When you start seeing it go to different countries, you're like, oh no,
Chill out, people.
Yeah, like I saw Russia. I'm like, what the hell?
I saw it as a Chupacabra.
Yeah, I would believe Russia had some fucking phony ass like
Russia has its own monsters to deal with,
yeah,
guys.
you worry about that.
You get your Chernobyl mutated creatures.
I know, right? I would believe that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I picked the Chupacabra. I think the Chupacabra was an interesting thing.
But
Well, not interesting, but the last minute thing. But I thought, it's talked about. We lived through it. Like we saw T-shirts. People started
Merchandise,
clowning on
We
it.
lived through it like there was an outbreak of
Yeah.
Chupacabras.
Speaking of outbreaks, Chupacabra. Yeah.
What if we're just a vampire drinking an animal blood instead of human blood?
Yeah. Let's believe that one. I hate you.
Is there an explanation for like why they were finding them? Like, so I know they found animals that were dead, but they also found them like with no blood in them.
They just kind of were. Some of the people were calling it El Vampiro de Chile or something like off the. I forgot the city, but they were just thinking he was just a vampire. Like some of these farmers. I mean, you're dealing with farmers here.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not like it's like you found one in the city and people be like investigating and stuff like that. Most of the stuff was just like they couldn't really give an explanation about the blood sucking. That's why a lot of people were like, no. It is what they say it is. You know, and it's like, oh shit.
They can't really conceptualize that it's something else.
Yeah. I mean, there were some people who were just thinking maybe like people were just sucking the blood out of them, like maybe making like sausage blood.
Chorizo.
Yeah, but I mean, just the way it was coming through. I mean, no one was stealing goats. I mean, it was common people would steal each other's goats.
But
this was
sucked out of blood and
this
left
was
the body there.
Yeah, like you could easily just take it and just do that shit somewhere else.
Maybe it was just one guy getting revenge, like
you stole my cows. I stole your
Godfather
goat.
chopping the horse's head off.
That's everywhere apparently. But yeah, I mean, for me that was a chupacabra, man. I mean, what do you guys? I mean, you guys were a part of that time. Like, what do you guys think? What?
I believe in it.
Oh, we believe in Dracula.
Hey.
What about you, sir, Carlos?
I mean, I don't. It was. I remember
He's
there was
a
a
man
lot.
of science.
There was a lot of hype back then. There was a lot of hype. I remember.
But as
that.
a kid, I mean, you.
Oh yeah, I was a kid. I was like, oh, don't go out in the dark. I remember even some kids at school were saying like, oh, if it bites you, you'll turn into the chupacabra and that shit. And I was like, you know how kids are at school.
Yeah. All right. I think our last. I think one of our last things. I left it for last because yours was probably your last pick was probably the most interesting one.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, what is it about, sir?
Dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaurs.
These are not real. The Men in Black.
The Men in Black.
Love that. Okay, so
I want to put the song, but I feel like Prince did us dirty the other time.
yeah, he did.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna put no more Men in Black music.
So basically, this begins in the 90s. Will Smith encountered aliens, and he hasn't been seen since.
God damn it! Just like Michael Jackson.
Exactly. Didn't he have a song?
No, I don't know, but he appeared in it.
Yes, he was in Men in Black 3.
Yeah.
I could be Agent M.
Yeah.
No, but the Men in Black, they're basically these guys dressed in black. Yeah, who go anytime there's like an alien sighting, UFO sighting, or
you'll see
something like that, they show up and be like, shut the fuck up, or we'll put the kibosh on you.
Oh yes.
But this is one aspect that I didn't find out till just a few years ago, is that whenever people have sightings from, like legit sightings, they say these guys don't look human.
Really?
Like they say they look like a person, but they got no hair, no eyebrows, no nothing. They look just a little off.
Question: I don't know if you looked it up, but I forgot. Was it one of the creators from Ghostbusters?
Dan, I was gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, then you continue.
Yeah. So like, and actually, there's a video a few years from like I think the 90s. It's security cam footage of like these guys. Two guys, Men in Black, walking into a doorway, and everybody around them just kind of like freaks out.
Yeah.
Like they see them and they're just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because like I said, like they don't look human. They don't act human. They just kind of show up. It's like an alien pretending to be human, which a lot of people think like maybe these guys aren't human. Maybe these guys aren't like an agency. Which I find interesting because it's kind of creepy. Like you just got these things in there, and a lot of people who sight them say they'll get home and be like, they were just there, and then they leave. And they for some reason are dressed in 1950s, 1940s suits. It's like imagine if someone didn't know what humans acted or dressed like. It's like kind of
like the generic.
Yeah, like, oh, what's your generic human?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, which is creepy. You know, some people think they're aliens themselves. But even if they're not, it's just creepy thinking that these guys are walking around hiding shit, covering some shit up.
Yeah.
And that whole Dan Aykroyd thing.
This is what I was asking you.
Dan Aykroyd, he's a huge like
superstitious,
supernatural aliens. all that shit. And he was I forgot what studio, probably not important, but he said he was pitching a show to the studio where they would investigate alien sightings. But he said, like, this show, we'll try not to bullshit it like other shows. Like, we'll try to give people a definitive answer.
Like something to grab on. Something
Yeah.
to grab on.
Solid info.
Huh?
Solid info.
Yeah, not like all those other Ghostbusters watch
Ghost stories.
Destination Declassified shit.
All the cruise shows.
So he was
I don't
like,
watch anything aliens. I don't watch anything aliens.
The ghost stories.
the Telemundo.
Oh yeah, primer impacto.
So he was like, let's make this show, and they were like, oh, we'll get back to you. And he walked out, and there was like a car there with 2 guys in it, and they tailed him for like a few miles.
Oh really?
And he was like, what the fuck? And supposedly, like, they got out and told him, like, don't fucking pitch that show again. And they were like, he's like, what the fuck? And then, like, he got a call from the studio saying, yeah, we can't go with this.
Wow.
And he was like, why? And he was like, we just can't.
Yeah, and Dan Aykroyd, I mean, at that time, he was gold, right? Like, you could basically make anything.
He's not loony like he is right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of makes you go, like, what the fuck? These guys will threaten someone big like Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd, he's at the tippy top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. After that, he did ever, and this is what he talked about it in this, like, what was it, an interview or?
Yeah, like in an interview, like I don't think he gave like a date, but he said like, oh, you know, I've had encounters with them.
Yeah.
Which is just creepy, man.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's just creepy. Imagine if we found out there was a group of people just walking around covering shit up. What are they covering up?
Yeah.
Which leads you on to like Area 51, UFO,
Babushka lady,
Operation Blue Light.
Hey, Blue Light. Well, what's that?
it's a Kmart event.
Blue Beam. It's like basically all the shit.
Oh, you don't like it, right?
Yeah, because mine are clever.
Okay. I get it. You girls, your penises are small. I get it. All right, continue.
Isn't that? Well, for girls, of course, they're gonna be small.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's basically all all those names for like aircraft experimentation with like trying to make UFO. Like every new aircraft, people thought they were UFOs.
Yeah.
Operation Aurora, that's what they called the creation of the B-2 bomber.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it kind of expands into this whole military government hiding.
Has there been one that you've thought like, no, this can't be something of that? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, is there any sighting or any talk? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there ever a moment, since you're talking about Men in Black and you're like, you kind of believe that, but I mean, life does exist out there. But is there a story for you that you're like, they couldn't make it up? Like, they couldn't cover it up. Like, oh no. This was we're testing a nuke.
Oh, the nuke.
Yeah, bro.
Not even that, because I think that could have been just a test flight.
Really? But nothing's ever.
There's a few sightings that have made me go like, ooh.
I mean, how about the one where they actually admitted on the news that it's like, yeah, we don't know what this is.
What always creeps me out is when like people of positions like pilots and that say like, I saw some shit I can't explain.
Yeah.
Like there was one where an aircraft carrier was straight up chasing UFOs.
Really?
Like they sent jets that were like, scramble the fucking jets.
Yeah.
What are these things? And the pilots were just like, we don't know what they were. They were flying circles around us. And then it just...
So stuff like that, you're like, okay, I believe.
Okay, I believe. The Phoenix sightings.
Okay.
Like this huge... People say they saw like a huge triangular UFO fly over their city. And they were like... The thing was, so many people...
And that's a whole city, right?
Yeah, like, well, Phoenix isn't a big city, but, you know, it's like...
I mean, still, like,
you
a
get
whole town.
A whole
town, yeah.
Yeah, you get a few thousand people all saying the same story.
Yeah.
And actually, remember Civil War where Stark goes to meet Spider-Man? It's like, oh, all that stuff's fake on YouTube. Like those Phoenix lights over...
Oh, yeah, okay. So he kind of, like, threw it off, like, oh, wow, okay. Damn.
But there's some stuff that has made me go like, what the fuck? Yeah, explain this shit.
Yeah.
I think there was a UFO sighting this week.
I mean, the UFO sightings, like, it happens, but I think the stuff that
I think like
stops a town or stops something.
I think 99% of UFO sightings are just people seeing something that they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's I've seen a UFO sighting that to this day I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was. I told you about it. It's when I was it was in
You told me, but have you told the audience?
Oh yeah, it was in San Bernardino. I told you I worked at that shop that was kind of like in the boonies. Like there was nothing around you at nighttime. And we had a guy who would always just he was like the town kook.
Okay.
But he was a good guy. He would every now and then he would come by and say like,
shout out to the town kook.
Yeah, shout out to the town kooks. He would come in and be like, oh, is everything all right? You guys need anything?
Yeah.
He was a nice man like that.
Yeah.
And one night he comes in, checks on us. Everything okay? Anybody giving you trouble? No, we're okay, thank you. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be across the street if you need anything. A few minutes later, I hear him screaming, like, Carlos, get out here. And I run out with my gun, with the store gun, and he's pointing at the sky, and he's like, what is that? And it was like a spiral in the sky.
You didn't tell me that.
I did.
You did tell me this?
I did tell you this. When it happened, I freaked out.
Damn.
Because it was like a spiral, and I found footage of similar stuff, but not of that. And I remember just going like, what the fuck was that?
Like a spiral shape or just the like lights?
It was a vortex.
A vortex.
In the sky. And it was big. Like it wasn't tiny like, oh, that might be a satellite. Like I was like, I do not know what that was. Deuces, I quit.
Yeah. Oh, he quit?
No. I
was like,
but I was like driving home and I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. You hear it, folks. A live sighting of an alien.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Men in Black didn't encounter me.
Yeah. Damn. I could just imagine that scene, like your kook guy going, look over there, Carlos, and you're just like running out. That's a movie scene.
That's a movie scene. Yeah.
That's a scene in the movie.
It was creepy. And it's stuff like that. Why I like the Men in Black? Because it's like stuff that like it's explainable, but at the same time you're kind of like, if the explanation is correct, it's more scarier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. Today our episode was about kooks and urban legends and stuff like that, and weird sightings that some of us may or may not believe. Like I said, right now the slice is still going on, and these times of closing their pie stores pretty early, but we're still here. We hope you're all safe out there.
Stay safe. Social distancing.
Sounds retarded.
I like doing a great job at it.
I like all bars are closed, our gyms are closed,
restaurants,
all clubs are closed. So my life is the same.
I was like, the only thing closed I was kind of mad with the theaters.
I hear there were some theaters that are like they're only selling every other seat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of difficult.
I can't get late like that.
Yeah, right? But anyways, stay safe out there, folks. It's going crazy out there. Remember, just buy enough toilet paper to wipe your ass. not your 100, not your aunts, your great grandsons.
If you find your corpse in your house, I don't want to have to say, look how clean his asshole was.
Right? Alright, everybody, that was us. You.
May the force be with you.
Could have said that earlier, Cruz.